Hello, welcome to our presentation today about the Families First Coronavirus Response Act. I am Vicki Stalnaker, Director of Operations for Payroll Systems, a division of JRBT.
And I'm Angela Ragan, a Senior Tax Manager with JRBT. Thank you all for joining us today.
This presentation is for informational purposes only, and accordingly, we request that you consult with your legal counsel, your HR professional, or your tax advisor to see how FFCRA applies to your organization and your employees.
Vicki, companies are confronted right now with an assortment of options to keep their businesses going, to retaining workers or furloughing workers with pay, laying workers off to seek unemployment, applying for small business loans, or a combination of these options. Employers must use extreme caution right now to take time to understand certain requirements put into place by the Department of Labor, in particular with FFCRA. So Vicki, can you tell us, what is FFCRA?
Well, the FFCRA was one of the first pieces of legislation that was passed in March to help employers and employees deal with the COVID-19. And with it, it is basically federal mandated paid sick leave. Prior to FFCRA, paid sick leave was handled at the state and local level. So this is the first time that it is at the federal level.
I think the question on most employers' mind right now is, does this apply to me? Which employers are required to pay the sick leave?
FFCRA applies to employers that have less than 500 employees. So it's quite a bit of employers are required to comply with FFCRA. However, for employers with less than 50 employees, there is a possible exemption for them if paying the sick leave would create a going concern problem. And so those employers need to consult with their legal counsel and also reference the Department of Labor's website to see if they qualify for that exemption.
Thank you for that explanation. What are the effective dates?
It is for any leave taken between April 1st and December 31st, 2020. And please note, it is for leave taken. It's not based on the date that it's paid.
Okay, and how many sick leave hours do employees receive?
The employees can receive up to 80 hours of paid sick leave. And if you have part-time employees, you have to prorate it based on their part-time hours. And with the sick leave, there's 6 different reasons where you can take paid sick time. And with that, reasons 1, 2, and 3 deal with self-care, taking care of yourself as the employee. So whether you're quarantined, you're sick, or you're waiting for your results, you may qualify for the paid sick leave. And then reasons 4, 5, and 6 deals with care for others. So whether they're sick or there's a school closure, childcare closure, or something similar in nature. And the distinction between the self-care and the care for others also affects the amount of pay you receive. So for reasons 1, 2, and 3 for the self-care, that's paid at your regular rate of pay, subject to a daily limit of $511 with a total payout of $5,110. For reasons 4, 5, and 6, that's where you're taking care of the others, that one's only paid at 2/3 of your regular rate of pay with a daily max of $200 and a maximum payout of $2,000. Now, among all 6 reasons, even though they're at different pay rates, you cannot go over 80 hours if you're full-time or your prorated amount for part-time employees. And in addition, the number 5 reason, which is the child care or the school closures, that one allows for some additional paid leave.
Many parents have been affected by the closures, such as you and I. We both have little ones at home with the school closures and daycare closures. So can you tell us a little bit more about what benefits are out there for those employees that are affected by the closures?
Yes, for the school closures, as part of FFCRA, it expanded the FMLA, the Family Medical Leave Act. Prior to FFCRA, your FMLA time was unpaid. With this expanded FMLA, just for the reasons of childcare or school closures, it allows for paid leave, up to 10 weeks of paid leave associated with the COVID-19. That paid leave is at 2/3 of the regular rate of pay, so it's very similar to the initial 2 weeks that you have under the other section of FFCRA, but it's at 2/3 of your regular rate of pay, max of $200 a day, for a max payout of $10,000. So somebody dealing with a school closure can actually receive up to 12 weeks of paid leave, 2 weeks under the paid sick leave portion and 10 weeks under the expanded FMLA.
Wow, that is a lot of paid leave. Mm-hmm. How can employers afford to pay this?
Well, FFCRA is designed for that employers will not be out of pocket with their costs. So there's an exemption and also credits available. So for the exemption portion, FFCRA wages are not subject to the employer's Social Security tax, which means it's not calculated at all. It's exempt from that tax. For the credit side, employers receive a credit for the amount of FFCRA wages paid, as well as the employer side a Medicare tax. So if you pay $1,000 of FFCRA wages, the Social Security tax of $62.50, not calculated at all. The Medicare tax of $14.50, that is a credit, as well as the $1,000 of wages. And you can also take a credit for any qualifying health insurance that's associated with those FFCRA wages as well. So the employer has no cost. Credit for the wages, credit for Medicare tax, exemption from Social Security tax.
It sounds like a win for the employees and the employers. It's amazing. Now, how can employers claim the credit?
Well, to get immediate relief from paying those FFCRA wages, it can be offset against current payroll tax deposits. So if you have a payroll tax deposit of $8,000, you paid the $1,000 of wages, you can immediately reduce that $8,000 by the $1,000 of wages plus the Medicare credit amount. So you end up depositing less than $7,000. If your payroll tax deposit happens to be less than the amount of FFCRA wages, credits, and Medicare credits, you can file Form 7200 with IRS and get a refund quickly as well. Also, you can wait for that refundable credit when you file your quarterly 941 at the end of the quarter.
That's great news. Employers do not have to wait until next year to receive a benefit of the credit. They can receive it immediately with their tax deposits or with their quarterly filings. Most employers will be happy to hear that. What is the best advice for employers right now?
The best is to look at the FFCRA resources that are available. So the Department of Labor's website, dol.gov, has a lot of facts and questions and information for employers, as well as the Internal Revenue Service website at irs.gov to review those facts and make sure that you know situations with your employees as well as how it applies to your organization. In addition, if you have a computerized payroll system, to make sure that you're using the correct pay codes, and also to keep track of the other credits as well for health insurance, so that everything is calculating properly, because all of it flows through to the brand new 941 that we're going to have soon, second quarter, and we will have some additional presentations on that as well. But keeping track of it is the biggest thing that we need to do.
Thank you, Vicki. We'll be looking forward to that additional presentation in the future. I think the FAQs on those websites will answer most employers' questions. Some employers have received the Paycheck Protection Program loan. It is important for employees to understand the interplay between the PPP loan and the FFCRA credit. You can claim the FFCRA credit and receive the PPP loan. However, the amount of payroll costs included in the loan forgiveness calculation under Section 1106 of the CARES Act will not include the amount of wages for required sick or family leave under FFCRA. Again, employers should visit the dol.gov or the irs.gov website for additional information. Thank you so much, Vicki, for providing valuable information concerning the first Coronavirus Response Act. For those listening, if you have additional questions concerning FFCRA, please feel free to email Vicki or myself. You can go to jrbt.com and locate our contact information. Thank you for joining us and have a great day.
Thank you.